pre-conference meeting is on the topic of development of outreach materials based on the TAAT technologies. So we have gathered the content specialists from the commodity compacts, the technology transfer officers of the commodity compacts. We have extensionists who are from the AFAS network who've joined us, and obviously FARA supporting the organization of the workshop jointly with AFAS. So the objective of this workshop is really to help packaging of outreach materials for the purpose of scaling, which is the objective of the TAAT program.
AFAS is one of the consortium members with the Forum for Agricultural Research in Africa, FARA, of course with the SROs. TAAT is a project which was designed with the participation of all these partners. FARA led the development of the CDTO compact with the participation of the consortium members. As AFAS, we are delighted that we are participating in this important workshop. This workshop developing the materials for CDTO is very important in that it addresses the issues that the extension people and of course all the compacts of TAAT are grappling with.
The conference and the purpose of it is to look at commodity items, a number of them, ask ourselves what sort of manner can we put this material in that when it is taken by the extension officers to the farmers, there's going to be a technology uptake.
The concept of agricultural extension is becoming this pluralistic, whereby you find different sources of knowledge, and in terms of beneficiaries also, it's also farmers as well as pastoralists and also value chain actors. So the concept of pluralistic extension is a service that is provided by different wide range of actors from the public, private and farmers organization and NGOs and so on. This is the concept where we are in terms of agricultural extension and advisory services.
You need the outcome and the outputs evaluation. Those information will also help you to provide evidence that this and this information, the number of people that have gotten, and even from the outcome and output, you can get some success stories.
We had an exercise in our group on packaging technology using the Bloom's taxonomy approach. So different participants in the group had different ideas about what specific statements of the activity relates to in terms of understanding, remembering, evaluating, analyzing, and creating. So by the time each of us had an opportunity to attempt those statements, it was easier when we came back to reconcile and harmonize our understanding. And it was only then we were able to work as a group, identifying those statements and being able to fit them into the different components.
As a cassava compact, we have some of the technologies we are deploying to farmers, like seed systems in which we deploy improved and disease-free material to farmers. And then we have processing. We are deploying different technology on how to process our cassava.
Looking at the reason why we should focus more on the youths in all the TAAT program, I'll start with the fact that the problem of unemployment is so enormous across African countries. And if you look at the percentage, it affects the youth the more. That's the first point. The second point is that the percentage of farmers, the bulk percentage of farmers are old. And if we don't empower the youth now, if we don't encourage them to embrace agribusiness, that means we get to a time and the problem of hunger will increase, the problem of poverty will increase. And
we also have a big membership of technical people. We may call them the technicians. Technical people who come together, who are members of the forum, very many of them in different fields, in the very different fields of agriculture and related fields, and they also come onto the platform and they discuss issues which are concerned with agriculture. People seek advice from this platform. People bring up a topic and it is discussed, and these topics which they discuss are handling also different issues. It could be a policy issue, it could be a technical issue, and many others.
I'm Dr. Dosa Equation. I'm a soil scientist working with IFDC, the International Fertilizer Development Center. I'm the interim coordinator of the TAAT Soil Fertility Enabler. So we are here to contribute to material packaging, especially the soil fertility related materials. Plant nutrition is a very important component to plant production. And if you don't have a good soil fertility management, you may just miss the target.
At CABI, we have done a lot of work on the fall armyworm since its inception in Ghana and other African countries in the latter part of 2016 and 2017. And then on the TAAT program, it has been acknowledged that fall armyworm becomes one of the compacts, the enabling compacts, in the sense that in the commodity compacts, maize is a key feature as well as other value chains. And looking at the link between the fall armyworm and maize, it goes without saying that it is very important that we work together to be able to manage the fall armyworm so that the maize compact in particular can attain the objective that it has to attain.
My name is Justin Mabeya. I work with the International Center for Tropical Agriculture, CDTO, as a technology transfer officer for the high iron bean compact based in Nairobi. High iron bean is implemented by CDTO in 8 countries, Kenya, Uganda, Rwanda, Burundi, Tanzania, DRC, Malawi, and Zimbabwe. And CDTO uses a model called, or an approach called the bean corridor. And the bean corridor basically looks at bean activities from a business perspective, where the private sector drives the activities upstream all the way to research. And within the bean corridor arrangement, there are what we call business platforms. Actually, business platforms are basically innovation platforms, but we use the name business platforms because the concept really focuses on what businesses come out of these platforms.
In the aspect of gender, we tried introducing the wheat threshing machine during the SADSC wheat project. And we took it to innovation platform at Kano. And the innovation platforms consist of IP size. So when we gave them the threshing machines, the men actually welcomed it because it will reduce their drudgery in terms of threshing. But hardly did we notice that the women were making money out of threshing, and that has displaced their income when we introduced the machine. And on noticing such, we now engage the women in a forum and their men counterpart. And that was how we resolved it. We agreed that the machine should be supplied to the women groups so that when they use it, they will still realize the same income that they had been realizing before. It was actually a technology well accepted after the resolution of the conflict.
Packaging communication materials have been very critical, especially in the dissemination of high iron bean technologies. I'm glad that this training actually took place on how to package materials for farmers and to help disseminate these high iron beans for better productivity, for good income, as well as food security and nutrition.
My name is Dr. Chris Akem. I'm the program coordinator for the Technologies for African Agricultural Transformation, which we commonly refer to as TAAT. I'm based at IITA, which is the executing agency for this program. This is really an opportune program for us in Africa. It gives us an opportunity to see how agriculture in Africa can be transformed. We realize that a lot of institutions have been around for more than 50 years, and the research that we have been doing have been either ended up as publications in bookshelves or as research articles that are published. And agriculture in Africa, even though we say it's a backbone, continue to lag behind. So the African Development Bank decided to initiate a program called TAAT to see how these technologies can be brought together to make a difference. There are more than 15 institutions involved. This is the first program where 11 of the 15 CG centers have come together to make sure that it happens. The governments to fill in the gap of extension, but that has not been happening. We have an institution like FARA, Forum for Agricultural Research in Africa. We believe they have that capacity, and the past 3 days has demonstrated that. We are hoping that looking forward into phase 2 of TAAT, we'll have that stronger focus on technology outreach so that we can strengthen and make sure that the transformation happens. It is a challenge that is for all of us, and we're looking forward to achieving that so that we can achieve the goals of TAAT. Reduce poverty, malnutrition, end hunger, there's really that emphasis, and then make sure African agriculture is transformed.